Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to share 5 Stoic-inspired habits that completely transformed my life in just 1 week. Yes, you heard that right, 1 week. I know it might sound unbelievable, but these aren't your typical quick fix tips. These are real, raw, and honest habits that I personally integrated into my daily routine, based on the teachings of Stoic philosophy. Over just 7 days, I experienced struggles, breakthroughs, and a true transformation. The results? Truly amazing. I'm so excited to dive into these habits because they've had such a profound impact on me, and I believe they can do the same for you. Whether you're looking to improve your mental resilience, boost productivity, or find more inner peace. These Stoic habits can guide you towards it. So grab a cup of coffee or tea, get comfortable, and let's dive into these practical, actionable steps inspired by the wisdom of Stoicism. You won't want to miss this. These habits are grounded in Stoic principles, and you can start implementing them today to create positive, lasting change in your life. Habit 1. Waking up early. The first habit that changed my life was waking up early. Now, I'm not going to lie, I was never a morning person. My bed was my sanctuary, and I hit the snooze button more times than I can count. Mornings were chaotic. I often started my day feeling rushed, unorganized, and off balance. But after hearing the benefits of waking up early for years, I decided to give it a try. I set my alarm for 5 a.m. on the first day. Let me tell you, it was brutal. My body begged me to go back to sleep, and I nearly gave in. But I pushed through. And after a couple of days, something incredible happened. I began to look forward to the calm and quiet of those early morning hours. While the world was still asleep, I had a sense of peace, and I began to use this time for myself. I started my mornings with light exercise like a short jog or stretching, just to wake myself up. The rush of endorphins made me feel more energized and set the tone for the day ahead. I also began to meditate, which was a game changer. Just a few minutes of mindfulness helped me set my intentions for the day and approach everything with a clearer mindset. One thing I truly came to appreciate was the stillness and clarity that accompanied waking up early. Over time, I also noticed how waking up early impacted my productivity. Having extra time in the morning meant I could eat breakfast without rushing, plan my day in peace, and mentally prepare for the challenges ahead. I no longer felt scattered or like I was behind the moment I woke up. A highlight for me was the day I sat outside on my balcony at sunrise. The calmness of the moment left me with a profound sense of gratitude and a deeper understanding of how valuable these extra hours were. If you're not a morning person like me, I encourage you to give it a try, even if just for a week. Start with 15 minutes earlier than usual and gradually work your way up. You may find that these quiet moments can give you more energy, more control, and more peace in your day. Habit 2. Daily exercise. Speaking of energy, daily exercise became habit number 2 in my transformation. Now, I was never particularly active. I would often make excuses like I don't have time, or I'm too tired, or I'll start tomorrow. But eventually I reached a point where I knew I had to make a change. So I committed to moving my body every single day for a week. I started small, just 20 minutes a day, and mixed up different forms of exercise to keep things interesting: yoga, jogging, and strength training. At first, my body was sore and I was exhausted, but I reminded myself that I was doing this to feel better, both physically and mentally. By day 4, I began to feel a noticeable difference. I was waking up with more energy and my mood had shifted dramatically. The biggest change was in my mindset. I began to see exercise not as a chore, but as a time to care for myself. I was giving my body the attention it deserved, and in return it made me feel stronger, healthier, and happier. I even enjoyed the simple pleasure of a morning jog, breathing in the fresh air and feeling the rhythm of my body move. One of my standout moments was when I tried yoga for the first time. I was skeptical at first, thinking I wasn't flexible enough, but after just a few sessions I realized that yoga wasn't just a workout. It was a spiritual practice that taught me to be present and listen to my body. Daily exercise became my form of self-care. It wasn't about perfection or pushing myself to the limit. It was about finding an activity I enjoyed and making it a consistent part of my routine. If you're struggling to get started, try starting small. Find something you enjoy, whether it's hiking, dancing, or even just going for a brisk walk, and commit to a few minutes each day. Trust me, it will change the way you feel about your body and your life. Habit 3, journaling. Habit number 3 was journaling. At first, I thought journaling was something only deeply introspective people did, and I wasn't sure it was for me. But after committing to writing every night for a week, I was shocked at how powerful it became. I started simple, just 10 minutes a night to jot down whatever was on my mind. I didn't aim for perfection. I used a plain notebook and a comfortable pen. No fancy apps, no pressure to make it look nice, just pure honesty. At first, I didn't know what to write. But then I started reflecting on my day, what went well, what didn't, and what I was grateful for. Gradually, I started going deeper, writing about my dreams, my fears, and even things I was ashamed of. That's when the magic happened. Through journaling, I began to notice patterns in my thoughts. I realized that many of my worries were about things I couldn't control, but there were also areas where I could take action. One memorable night, I wrote about a stressful day at work. Writing down my emotions helped me process them, and I could look at the situation more clearly. Another powerful aspect of journaling was the gratitude section. Every night I wrote down 3 things I was grateful for. This simple act shifted my focus from what was lacking in my life to what was already abundant. Journaling gave me clarity, helped me track my progress, and allowed me to reflect on my emotions. It became a space where I could be completely honest with myself without fear of judgment. I highly recommend starting a journaling habit if you've never tried it. Don't worry about how it looks. Just write what's on your mind, and you might be surprised at how much you learn about yourself. Habit 4, mindful eating. Next up is mindful eating, a habit that has had a profound impact on my life. Like many people, I used to eat on the go, distracted by my phone or computer. Meals became rushed affairs, and I didn't fully appreciate the food I was eating. It wasn't until I committed to mindful eating for a week that I realized how much I had been missing. Mindful eating is all about being present and fully engaged with the experience of eating. It means paying attention to the flavors, textures, and sensations of each bite. At first, it felt strange to sit down and eat without distractions, but as I stuck with it, I found that eating without the usual distractions made my meals more enjoyable. One of the first changes I noticed was how much more I appreciated my food. Foods that I'd eaten hundreds of times before suddenly tasted better. The crunch of fresh vegetables or the sweetness of ripe fruit felt more pronounced. Mindful eating also helped me listen to my body's cues. By eating slowly and paying attention to how full I was, I found that I naturally ate less and felt more satisfied. Mindful eating also made me more aware of the emotional triggers behind my eating habits. I started noticing when I was eating, out of stress, boredom, or even as a form of comfort. This awareness allowed me to address the underlying emotions and choose healthier alternatives. Instead of reaching for snacks, I could recognize when I needed a break or a conversation with a friend. Incorporating mindful eating has helped me develop a healthier relationship with food. It's a habit I continue to practice because it's transformed not just my eating habits but my overall well-being. If you want to try it, start with 1 meal a day. Set the scene for your meal, remove distractions, and savor each bite. You might be amazed at how much more enjoyable food can be when you truly pay attention to it. Habit 5, limiting screen time. The 5th habit was limiting screen time. This was a particularly difficult one for me. In today's world, it's so easy to get sucked into endless scrolling on social media or binge-watching shows. But I quickly realized how much of a toll this constant screen time was taking on my mental health, productivity, and even sleep. So I decided to set a boundary and limit my non-work-related screen time to just 1 hour a day. At first, it felt almost impossible. I had become so accustomed to filling every spare moment with screens. But as the days passed, I started noticing how much more time I had. I rediscovered hobbies I had neglected: reading, drawing, cooking. One evening, instead of sitting in front of the TV, I took a walk in the park. The fresh air and the simplicity of the experience were incredibly refreshing. Limiting screen time also improved my sleep. I used to scroll through my phone before bed, which made it harder to unwind and sleep well. By removing screens from my bedtime routine, I found that I fell asleep quicker and slept more soundly. My mental health also improved. Without the constant stream of information and comparisons from social media, I felt less anxious and more present. Limiting screen time isn't about eliminating technology from your life. It's about finding a healthy balance. If you're feeling overwhelmed or disconnected, try setting some screen time boundaries. Start small and use the extra time to reconnect with yourself, your loved ones, or the world around you. Final thoughts. Small changes, big results. These are the 5 habits that transformed my life in just 1 week. Each habit has had a profound impact on my physical health, mental well-being, and overall sense of peace. The beauty of these habits is that they are small, actionable changes. You don't need to make radical shifts all at once. Just start with one habit and see how it makes a difference in your life. Remember, it's not about being perfect, it's about making progress. By taking small, consistent steps, you can transform your life over time. I encourage you to give these habits a try. They're simple but powerful. Trust me, the change you'll experience will be worth it. If you've enjoyed reading this and feel inspired, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below sharing which habit you're most excited to try, or any thoughts you have on making positive changes. Let's keep growing, evolving, and supporting each other on this journey. Stay awesome and see you next time.